Give a big hand for my friend, Mr. Jeff Hammond. Y'all come up here and join us for a minute. Hello, Jeff. Good, good. Check your mic there and see if we're working.
I hope it does.
Yeah.
How about that? We have sound.
That is good. That is good.
Sound.
Yeah. How's it going?
It's going really well.
All right.
I'm always enjoying coming to Las Vegas for NFR. And
yes.
I'd probably shock you and a lot of the folks here, but I've been coming to this city watching people, get it done since 1988.
Yeah,
I've only missed 3 years since 1988.
Right.
But I haven't been able to come out here for the finals. And
sure.
It's kind of like, circled on the calendar each and every year because I love getting the opportunity to see the best of the best.
Sure.
Compete and do what they do. And I don't know. It's a great time for me to get an opportunity to unwind from racing,
right,
and think about my second passion when it comes to the sport of rodeo.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of getting it done, give us a little history about what you've done and NASCAR and I read somewhere you were starting off changing tires at one point, and tell us about that a little bit.
Well, I was really blessed. I actually started out racing when I was 12 years old. I ran the local short tracks and dirt tracks to the Carolinas. Had the opportunity to watch the legendary Dale Earnhardt drive his first dirt car.
Really?
I grew up during that period of time and started helping a lot of the independents around there, and eventually I had that one moment where you get that golden opportunity. Junior Johnson, legendary car owner, Hall of Famer, asked me if I'd like to have a job working for him, and at that time his driver was Cale Yarborough, so I spent 76, 77, and 78 working with Cale, which he won 3 championships in a row.
Right.
Great opportunity there. And then eventually had a guy named Darrell Waltrip come drive for us. And fortunately for me, the second year he was there, they needed a crew chief. And I went from being a tire changer and a jack man to being a jack man and a crew chief.
Right, sure.
So I had a lot of success. I've been fortunate enough to be on 6 championship teams, 2 as a crew chief, kind of ramrodding the guys. And we wound up leaving juniors and going to Rick Hendrick. Rick Hendrick, good enough to give us some great opportunities. We wound up winning the 1989 Daytona 500.
Wow.
So I've had a lot of memories, a lot of opportunities, and racing is all I've ever done.
Sure.
That's all I've ever done. Now I've been doing television.
Right.
My 12th year with Fox and Speed.
Cool.
Working with a lot of great people. Still having an opportunity to travel around the country and talk about the sport that defined my career.
Sure. Well, when they first of all, when they told me I was going to be doing this, they basically told me instead of asking me, that kind of deal. I think lack of finding somebody else that'd do the thing, but I thought, well, that's going to be cool. And then I found out you were going to be on the show, and you do this for a living, and I thought, oh no, what have I gotten myself into on this thing? But talk about your TV show a little bit.
Well, I've been fortunate enough, I'm part of the pre-race. I've been in the legendary Hollywood Hotel, they like to say it, for the pre-race show. Then during the course of the race, I do special analysis as far as parts of the car, certain wrecks happen. I try to analyze maybe the safety aspect of it and break it down. I've also worked on what they call NASCAR Hub on Speed. It's a weekday show. I've worked on NASCAR Performance. I've done also a trackside show. I've worked on Speed Center. It's just different shows. I'm always, moving around, doing different things as far as television is concerned. I don't mind bragging a little bit. I've just got an opportunity to re-up with Fox for another 4 years.
Congratulations.
So really excited about that, to continue working in the sport. Fox is going to cover our sport for the next 10 years, they claim.
Right.
So that's going to be a good deal, and I'm excited to be a part of it, at least for the next 4. But they always like to make fun of me, especially when we go to Texas, because they know that I like being a cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
And they always make fun of me of my hat.
Sure.
And especially my Justin boots.
Yeah.
You got to have the boots
talk
on.
About that.
So I'm very proud to be an endorser of Justin
Absolutely.
boots. And, the way I look at it, I've always aspired to be a cowboy.
Right.
Okay, and to live the lifestyle that these folks that do it every day.
Sure.
I mean, I'm very envious of the fact that you get to ride horses. I mean, people will say, well, hey, Hammond, you've been around horses long enough. You got to clean up after them. They got to do this. The cows have got to have that. And you have a lot of work to do. But it's the kind of work that I love. It's very tedious, but I enjoy it. And I don't know, it's a great balance for me. And I see a lot of similarities in the people who love our sport of NASCAR and definitely the ones who love the sport of rodeo. And their commitment, their passion, and especially when you go back and you look at NASCAR, really grew out of family operations, like the Petty operation, the Wood Brothers, Bud Moore, even Junior Johnson. But then, you know, they had second and third generation. I come into rodeo, and you have the same thing. You know, you got Bruce Ford, and his son comes along.
Right,
you know,
sure.
Casey Field right
Sure,
now.
exactly,
Following his daddy's footsteps. So there's so many similarities about how this sport produces such a family-based, you know, operation.
Right,
It's a great sport because of that reason.
Yep, exactly. Well, what we're going to do, you know, like I was talking about you doing what you do. We've got several guys we're going to get up here, and we're going to continue to talk to you, but I want to get everybody, you know, get them all up here, and then we're going to continue to chew the fat up here. But we've got another special guest, and we'll see if he's around here. But ladies and gentlemen, he wasn't on the schedule, but welcome to the stage.
Wait a minute, you're not bringing this guy
Welcome
up here.
to the stage,
No.
Four-time world champ, Mr. Tuff Hedeman.
All right.
Hello, Tuff. How you doing? We are hard up talent, ain't we?
It's a weekday.
What are you doing there, cowboy?
I'm hanging out at the rodeo.
There you go.
Hanging out at the rodeo.
NFR.
It's NFR.
You know, it's kind of funny that you bring this guy up here on the stage because, you know, I watched him. I mean, I watched you ride so many great rides here at the NFR and win championships, have some tough licks, but we really got to be buddies when you came into my world at Charlotte one time. I got pictures of you sitting in my race car at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
I got it hanging up in my office, so yeah, that was cool.
Would you ever considered, I know that day you sat in that race car, you had this gleam in your eye like, I could do this stuff. You ever thought about that?
Well,
maybe
I
you should have
I
jumped.
could do it, but I wanted to.
You wanted
Yeah.
to do it. Okay.
It likes
had
to
a pretty
go.
good idea.
It likes to
End
go
up on the wall.
fast.
The Kix Brooks and Ronnie Dunn, you know, they raced the little Legends cars, and I went down there and ran those.
What did you think about
one
that?
time, and that's fun.
How bad did you crash in that deal?
You know, I won, but it was against Joe D. Messina, so I never really told anybody.
So you're the one.
So I beat a girl in the car race one time.
That is great.
You got the trophy, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
It's all
And
that
I win.
matters.
It's all that matters.
That's right.
It doesn't matter when you go into any kind of competition. And no disrespect to the ladies. I mean, I know you're fierce competitors.
Yeah.
And I have roped
But when you're a
again.
guy, you don't want to get beat by a lady. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, but that, to me, it's like a double-edged sword.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to admit it, but I mean, like you could always say, and I'm not saying you do this, but if you lost her, what would you say? Well, you know, I didn't want to.
I would never tell, and I would never
Admit-
acknowledge or admit it.
Yeah, okay. All
I
right.
got selective amnesia.
That's right. That's right.
I keep forgetting your wife knows you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we've got more guests. I want to get everybody up here. You know, we're all good buddies up here, and we're just going to visit for a little bit. But right now, brought to you by our friends over at Cinch. Y'all give a hand for a bull rider, two-time NFR qualifier, Artie Meyer, Mr. Will Lowe, bareback rider. He's a three-time world champ. And Court Shear, three-time NFR qualifier in the saddle bronc riding. Give them a big hand, everybody. They're going to join us up here.
Guy sneaking in the back door. I thought they'd
Hey,
all come
JW
walking up
made
through
it.
here.
JW. There he is. All right. Perfect.
He's watching some
Yeah,
roping.
here he goes. He's checking
Are
out
you
the team
listening?
roping. Three-time world champ bull rider J.W. Harris also, everybody. He made it. That's right. Guys, we're short on microphones. If y'all don't mind sharing down on that end, that'll be good. We'll just pass it around and all that good stuff. But, yeah. We're at Vegas at the NFR here. And, Will, we'll start with you. Talk about your week so far. What do you got going, buddy?
It's been good, you know, just try to keep rolling.
Yeah.
Glad those draws have been good every night.
Right.
And, you know, it's just, I don't know how you guys feel, but, you know, you try your hardest every time.
Sure.
Sometimes it looks like you didn't do real good. Sometimes you did better than, you know, maybe what people think you can do. But, you know, however things work out, you know you tried your hardest, and that's all you can do.
Right,
And
sure.
then I just leave the rest out there. There's a lot of factors out of our control. So as long as you personally know that you did everything you could, then I'm happy with myself. And
Yeah.
that's all I'm worried about.
Absolutely. Artie, you won second place last night, didn't you?
Yeah, stayed on.
Yeah, that's perfect. Did I see this right? I had to run, but 2 qualified rides, is that right in the bull
Yeah,
ride?
there was only 2 rides last night, and
Right.
I guess it worked out good.
Yeah, that's perfect. Who'd you draw? How'd it go?
Probably paid pretty good last night.
Yeah.
I get ready to say, you only get 2 qualified rides like that. You guys kind of take all the money and split it up, right?
Yeah, you get your first and second, and then it's split, so it'll be, pretty good check.
Yeah.
What is a pretty good check? I'm sure you've added it up by now.
Yeah.
I just figure at the end of the week, and when I get the check about Christmas time, we'll see what it is then.
Yeah.
One day at a time. And
yeah.
it was just nice to make a good ride because the first night I'd spurred in my hand and laid it open pretty good, and I'm pretty fortunate that it's healing fast. And
right, sure.
I got one out of the way last night, so now
Yeah.
it's gonna be smooth sailing now.
Yeah, I noticed you were shaking hands with the left hand over there, doing that deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good right there. JW, y'all have to share microphones down there on the end. But how's your week been going so far, buddy?
It's all right. I won the first round and then won the second round.
Yeah.
And fell off the last 2.
Right.
But we've got the problem fixed.
Right. And I don't know for sure, but I think you may still maybe third in the average right now. Talk about that average a little bit.
It's really too early to be playing the average game right now.
Right.
And in the bull riding, you can't play the average.
Right,
In
sure.
the bull riding, like can time events and stuff like that. And, just go out there and ride be the guy that rides the most bulls, and you'll be the guy that wins the average.
Right, sure. Court, how about you so far? What do you got going? Talk about your week this far.
It's been going really good so far. Ended up splitting the second round there. I got on a really nice horse.
Yeah.
And I've been drawn just, kind of in the middle of the pack,
Right.
just staying hooked, and I just want to run something underneath me, that I got a chance on, and I'm excited about it. I'm feeling great, and just like J-Dub was saying, there's no worries about the average.
Right, sure.
It's all or nothing,
Yeah.
And especially in this bronc riding, them guys, their throttle's stuck. You know?
Right,
You ain't
sure.
gonna win nothing 80 points.
Right.
80 points is gonna get you a nice pat on the back. Good job, bud.
Right.
But see you later.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Every one of us wants to be in that South Point, and this pin tonight's gonna be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, they told me I got an opportunity here to ask some questions. And, in the sport that I work in, a lot of times, especially with drivers, they have a routine that they go through before race day. And, up to a certain point, I work with some drivers that, 30, 40 minutes before we had to go out there and put them in the car. It's like, just leave me alone. You're trying to get in that zone, get yourself focused. And so many times you come to a rodeo and you hear talking about the riders. Keep your mind in the middle. You got to do this, your focus. Is there any routine that you guys like to go through, or do you go off to yourself to try to get ready to come do your job, or is it just like you don't really focus until you get down inside that chute? When does it actually, the mental part, start for you as far as getting ready for a ride, JW?
I use the Kith method in bull riding. Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah. Because, so many guys make bull riding way more complicated than it is, and bull riding's easy. Stay on for 8 seconds, keep your hand in the rope. And I don't feel
You learned that from Tuff.
Yeah, I guess so.
You learned that from the probably the greatest bull rider ever. Was Jim Sharp, and that's,
Yeah.
he didn't, you hear all these guys, you can look it on film, frame by frame, and put your hand here and your knee here, and that sounds all good, and that's good to sell some videos, but when the gate opens, that's out the window. That's just making a whistle, and bull riding, it's basics, fundamentals, but more than anything, it's just effort and how bad do you really want it. And
being a cowboy.
you got like JW, who's been the best guy in the last 15 years. It's not an accident that he continues to win world championships and win go rounds, and he's certainly not done yet.
Sure. Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, I think it changes a lot for everybody. Some guys like to get their motor running and pumped up, and see somebody slap themselves and stuff. And somebody like me, I got a routine that I go through where I put all my equipment on in pretty much the same order, and that's just to make sure I got it all with me. Otherwise, I'd forget it in my bag.
Yeah.
But I like to try to stay real calm. You think about it, but you get at this level, you should probably know what you got to do when that gate opens. And so, you know, the calmer I stay, the better I do.
Right, sure.
If I get my motor running too much, then things just fall apart for me. I got to take a couple deep breaths and think about something else besides riding bucking horses, because it's pretty scary.
Sure, absolutely. Jeff, that was a great question right there. Tuff, this one's going to kind of be directed to you. I'm sure if I ask, you know, as far as the bull riding guys, you're definitely on the list as far as heroes to these guys, whether it's, you know, you or Jim Sharp or, you know, Lane Frost or, you know, with Court down there, you know, whether it's Billy Etbauer or anything like that. Who do some of the bull riders, you know, I feel like, and I say this every time, but no matter what you do, you copy somebody's style in the beginning, whether you're doing interviews, whether you're a country singer or you're a bull rider. But for a lack of better terms, whose style did you copy, Tuff, when you started out as a kid, you know, riding?
You know, you look at guys. You know, you always look up to the guys that win.
Right.
You know,
sure.
when I was a kid, that
Who
was
winning?
Denny Flynn.
Right.
That was Donnie Gay.
Yeah.
Donnie Gay was hard to like, you know, because he's a little short.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Fat and
Oh,
mouthy
yeah.
and
Oh,
cocky,
yeah.
but you know, he was the 8-time world champion.
Sure.
And you know, we always get into an argument, and I offend him when I say Jim Sharp's the greatest bull rider.
Right.
And I said, you know, I judge it by who was on their best day. You know, who was. I think Jim Sharp was head and shoulders. And I said the only reason he didn't win nine buckles and beat Donnie because he didn't care enough.
Right. Sure.
He won 2, and he felt like that was enough.
Oh yeah.
And the stat that I always say that, you know, before Jim Sharp came to the national finals, nobody had ever ridden 10 bulls.
Yeah.
And over a period of 3 years, he rode 23 in a row here.
Wow.
So that's pretty strong. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't see anybody breaking that.
Sure. Sure.
But, you know, you ask about approach, and, you know, you ask 10 guys, you're going to get 10 different, you know, different
Right.
answers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, everybody's kind of, it's an individual, you know, sport, and everybody kind of approaches it. You know, the guys that are great, when the gate opens, it doesn't really, everything's out the window, and they just go make great rides, and
Yeah.
they do whatever it takes to do that. And, you know, especially it's different. You know, everybody says this is just, it's just another rodeo, but, you know, for me, you know, just your level of effort and desire and energy just goes up a couple notches when you walk in the Thomas and Mack. And, you know, I've seen guys that rode great all year long.
Yeah.
They came here and, you know, just couldn't ride here
Right, sure.
under the bright lights.
Sure.
And, you know, one of the best bull riders I ever saw was one of my best friends. His name was Clint Bronger.
Yeah.
And he would dominate all year, and he would just have heck
Just
here.
struggle. Yeah.
And, you know, he was one bull away from winning the world two or three times.
Sure. Seemed like that. Our buddy Brett Bacchus, you know, as far as in the team roping, it seems like he'd, you know, win throughout the whole year, you know, and then sometimes just kind of struggle a little bit out here. And it's funny how that, you know, how that happens sometimes.
Well, being able to do it when everything's on the line and the most at stake, you know, that's, you know, you look down these guys here,
Yeah.
you know, that's what JW does. That's what Will Lowe has done. That's what these guys, if they want to go buckle, that's what they're going to have to do.
Right. Sure. Sure. Absolutely.
That's when it's the most fun, is when you're riding for all the beans, you know.
Oh yeah.
The pressure's on, and, you know, let's step up and do it. And, you know, sometimes, like I said, sometimes it works out and you're the champion. Sometimes you fall flat on your face, but, you know, that's exciting riding
yeah.
for all, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
for everything. That's exciting when that pressure's on.
Oh sure. Yeah. That's got to be the, you know, what originally drove you to do it. You know, that kind of thing. You know, as far as that goes.
You know, and with us, in the rough stock events, I mean, not that the pressure isn't on the timed event guys too, but as far as being on the rough stock end of it, I mean, when we nod our head, you're looking at getting seriously injured, you know,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
mess up sometimes.
Sure.
And so, you know, there's a little bit more pressure every time you nod, just because of the consequences of what can happen.
Right. Sure. Absolutely.
I think. Give me that one. I think it's awesome having pressure. You know, I mean, you can use it negatively or you can use it positively. And personally, I mean, a lot of people say, you know, you come to the NFR, and especially my first year here, they're like, man, you're a rookie. You know, this is just another rodeo. Just go out there and just do what you do. And that's what I did. And I thought the first year I thought I rode good, but I didn't ride great.
Right.
And this year, like, I'm looking at it as this is the NFR. I want that pressure. Let's
Absolutely.
do it, because I want that gold buckle.
Yeah.
And I think you can use pressure however you want it. but personally, it jacks me up.
Yeah, sure.
I'm
sure.
ready to roll.
Oh,
like
yeah.
When you walk down that alley, let's get it on.
Yeah, absolutely. Artie, as far as I guess, I've watched the NFR, my entire life, and, it's been just within the last, I'm 35 years old. It's just been within the last 5 years that I've actually came to the Thomas and Mack, smelt the dirt, the grand entry, all of that stuff. As a child, did you come to Vegas and attend NFRs and watch and all that good stuff? Did you get that opportunity?
No, I never did, and I watched it on TV and everything.
Right.
And at the Thomas and Mack, you can, you might, if you get thrown a few bulls and you have a lot of people giving you advice and this and that. But I'll tell you what, until you're on the back of the chutes and you're running your hand in that rope at the Thomas Mack at the NFR, it's hard to be able to sit back in the stands and tell you how to do it, because until you're down there getting that rope hot and nodding your head,
Oh yeah.
The one thing about the NFR, people don't, as a competitor, is it's just such a roller coaster, because one night you can win around, the next night you just get drilled.
Right.
And you just got to just take it for what it is, and don't get too excited.
Right.
Or too disappointed early. You just got to, it's a sports cliche, take them one at a time, but really that's what you have to do. And if you can just kind of give yourself a chance at the end of the week. But I was pulled the biggest choke job in the history of the world here the first year that they were in Vegas.
Right.
Because I came in with a lead of about 20,000. I rode my first 5 bulls, and I was thinking,
it's over.
No problem.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
And I got bucked off of 3 of my next 5, and Ted Noose beat me the last day. And
Wow.
I'd led from Denver, and the next year I come back and I've got a bigger lead.
Yeah.
And I get bucked off my first 2, and like Artie says, the old lady selling popcorn is coming up and giving you some advice.
Yeah, let me help you.
And everybody's giving me that look. Oh, he's choking again. And and then I rode 6. I rode 8 in a row and placed on 6, and that was the first title I won. But getting beat in '85, I think it was did more good for me, knowing that it's not over till it's over. Every time you think the strangest things happen at the NFR that never happened anywhere. There were years where I was pretty sure I had it won or was going to win it, and I didn't. And there was a year when one of the years I won it, before it started, somebody asked me, what's it look like? I said, I don't have a chance. And he looked at me and said, well, for me to win it, Jim Sharp has to get bucked off, and I have to win first or second.
Yeah.
At that time, he'd ridden 23 in a row.
Right. And it wasn't looking good.
He was nice enough to fall off of Mr. T, and I was
Right.
lucky enough to make the whistle. And I always say thanks for the go buckle.
Oh yeah, exactly. I bet he loves
appreciate
hearing
it.
that. Well, those are great stories. I've been talking to team ropers this whole time. Y'all got me fired up now. I feel like this is way cool. Jeff, and what you've done, you're a professional, just like these guys, and we're all getting to know you. But what's some of those, high pressure situations as far as racing and different stuff like that? How did you get ready for the stuff that you do?
Well, I think the biggest comparison, and is a big difference, is that these guys are here at the NFR for the final 10 days of their season. And we start off with our season with the biggest race of the year. And we're there for roughly 10 days in Daytona, getting ready for qualifying, the 150-mile qualifying races and all the practicing that goes into it. And then we got our big event to kind of set our year, the tempo of what's going to happen. And as far as Daytona's concerned, same kind of atmosphere. When I come here to the NFR, I get the same kind of goosebumps when they do the grand entry.
Yeah, me too.
Just like I do when they say, gentlemen, start your engines.
Sure.
Especially at Daytona and places like that. You get jacked up, you get ready to go. Being a crew chief and at the same time being on pit road as a jack man, I used to love that. It's just like these guys here making a ride. Not only do I get a chance to tell the driver, when to pit and what changes we're going to make with the car, I get to be a part of that execution. And knowing that what I do, I always looked at myself as like the quarterback of that pit stop. I'm the first guy over the wall. I get the car jacked up on the right side. I'm making sure the tire changers are doing their job. I come around to the left. I get the left side up, and making sure everybody's done from the gas man, the tire changers, the guy that's cleaning the grill. You know, you're watching a lot of stuff, and this is all happening, you know, in 13 and a half, 14 and a half seconds. So, you know, that focus and that commitment and that, you know, like you say, you get your motor running, man. I was all in. I mean, because you're diving out in front of that car, and again, you know, they're not a bull, but they weigh 3,400 pounds, and if you don't get out of the way, they're gonna hurt you.
Absolutely.
So it was I'm a energy junkie, you might say, I'm an adrenaline junkie, just like these guys are when it comes to that. So once again, I feel like there's some similarities here, and that's another thing that, as far as my involvement with the rodeo part of it, I'm a team roper. I'm also a steer wrestler.
Right, sure.
And I've suffered the same kind of injuries from burns on the fingers to, I mean, I broke my wrist steer wrestling. So somebody says, you know, don't you have any better sense than to jump off a good horse to do something like that? Well, to me, I think bull riders and some of these bronc riders are just as stupid as I am.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, it's a challenge. And, again, when you master something, I mean, there's not a greater feeling that I can remember, including winning races, that when I threw a steer, you know, the fastest I ever thrown one, I think I threw one like a 4.4.
Yeah.
And I got up, and I'm telling you right now, I was King Kong. I mean,
Yeah.
I was just, you know, I mean, sure. I just took that 450-pound steer, and I made him feel like he weighed 45 ounces.
Yeah.
So you get that feeling that you can master it, but then I turn right around in a practice pen, and I shatter my wrist because I did something stupid, and the steer set up, and next thing you know, I'm going to emergency room.
Yeah, sure.
So, but I love the competitiveness that this sport brings, and it parallels what I grew up doing, you know, I've been in racing now going on 32 years.
Right, sure. JW, you've won some big rodeos this year. You wouldn't be here. What's, as far as this year goes, what's the rankest bull you've been on, the highest point, you know, what rodeo, you know, paint that picture for us here real quick.
Oh, I usually don't keep up with, you know, any of that stuff. I just go. I had knee surgery right after San Antonio this year, and San Antonio was the only rodeo I went to in the winter. And then I started back at Reno, and I won the Extreme Bulls there, and that's probably the biggest win, you know, just the biggest win I had overall. And then it just, you know, just trying to stay consistent. It's not about winning every rodeo you go to, but staying on every bull you get on and getting a check everywhere you go.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's the way to get here, is just stay consistent and ride everything you get on. It's, you know, it's not so much about winning every rodeo you get to, but winning a check. Right,
sure. Court, you know about your horse you've drawn for tonight?
Yeah, he's awesome. I think a couple 3 years ago he was a world champ. It's Spring Blues or Spring Planning of Flying Fives. I've been on him in Cloverdale this year, and I think they favored me a little bit as 91, but I think 85 would have knocked it out pretty easy.
Right, sure.
But I hope I get another 91. That'd work for me tonight.
What's he? I guess he's got certain characteristics. You know, what's he do when he come out?
He's just an unbelievable athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll come out and jump 4 feet in the air and crack them. And I mean, the only thing that's hard about him is just drawing him.
Right,
I mean,
sure.
That sucker's awesome.
Really.
And I mean, yeah, you can screw up and fall off. I mean, you get a horse that bucks that hard, there's a lot of snap coming on, you know. And shoot, I don't know, that just drives me. I get pumped up to get on him, I guess. I'm pretty excited.
Good. Congratulations just on the draw, right?
Oh,
I mean, that's
dang
good.
Right.
That's good, man.
I took any of them.
That's good. Will, how about you? What do you got tonight?
I got one of Pete Carr's called Dirty Jacket.
Yeah.
And that horse has been fantastic all year. I've been on him 2 or 3 times. I don't know, maybe 4. And he just has been getting better and better.
Yeah.
I won Guyman on him, and I won Lovington on him a while back, and that was maybe even last year. And
right, sure.
And this year I've seen him quite a few times, and he's just jumping higher in the air. He's ready to go when he's in the chute. He can kind of get a little fit. I think he was second horse of the year. I think Deuce's Night won it, and then Dirty Jacket was second. But he's so ready to go. I mean, you don't have to have anybody on his head to push him out. He might look like he's trying to flip or something in there, but he's just telling him, get out of the way, let's get this on. I mean, he's like we are. He's ready to go. He's picking a fight and ready to go.
Good deal. Artie, how about you tonight, buddy?
I got a bull they call Steel Dust. I guess J-Dub said he's a bucker. I looked him up. My brother had been on him, and they 23, 24 pointed him. And I ain't seen him, but shoot, I'm excited.
Yeah.
You know, good draw, stay on, gonna win
Sure.
a lot of money.
Absolutely.
It's TV pin, I think, for all of us.
Okay.
So, I mean, these are our highest.
I knew it
ones-
kind of
ones
changed
to
through the
score,
events,
highest
but tonight's the night then, isn't it?
Yeah, TV pin.
Tuff, what'd you draw tonight?
Coors Light.
Coors Light, perfect. Perfect. You're roping at the World.
I'll be at the front. I'll be down there in the front row, and
Yeah.
I come out here and I go to the rodeo every night. And
Right.
I'm a fan of all these guys,
Sure.
and it's just it's a great time. Somebody said, asked me how I was doing. I said, if you're in Vegas, if you can't have fun here, I can't help you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you
know,
do need help for
It's,
sure.
and I hear people say, "Oh, I get tired of Vegas." I say, "Hell, I ain't never got tired of Vegas.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Never."
Yeah.
You
What
know.
you're roping at the World Series roping out at South Point
Yeah,
too,
I
aren't you?
roped yesterday and didn't do any good, but
Right.
I roped tomorrow and the next day with my oldest son, which is pretty cool. And,
Yeah.
all the ropings out there, that you can win, 100,000 and per man every roping that's out there. I think one of them even pays 130, 140,000 a
Right,
man.
right.
So
Good deal.
it's pretty. Between that and watching these guys,
Yeah.
and I'm lucky enough that I got the best job in the world. I get paid to wear Resist All cowboy
Absolutely.
hats, Pan Slim shirts, cinch jeans,
Absolutely.
and Luke Casey boots.
There
So
you go. There
if
you
you all
go.
would go buy one of each, I'd appreciate it. That's how I feed my children.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, real quick, I want to ask, JW, I thought I saw you over there watching Crease Harris, give some instructions right there. You like the team rope, or just kind of did? Was he saying something that was interesting? Before you
just
came up?
I like team roping. I'm not a big fan of watching it. I like to be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Oh, yeah.
kind of like one of them things I don't really take. When I go team roping, real team ropers do not like to see me show up because I am screwing around, trying to get people bucked off their horses. I'm just having a good time out there, and it's just kind of, and that's the way I am with my bull riding. I'm out there screwing around with people, and that's just the way I am. And it's me and Cody Whitney, we get out there and pull pranks on people, and
Yeah.
we've got a few guys that we're aiming for
Yeah.
before it's over with.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, guys, I know y'all are busy. I could do this all day, and I'm going to make sure I get all this right here. The guys on the end here, they're brought to you by our friends by Cinch, J.W. Harris, Court Shearer, Will Lowe, Artie Meyer, Tuff Hedeman with Resist All, Justin Boots, Jeff Hammond. Y'all give them all a big hand. We sure appreciate them showing up for us today here at the NRS Shopping Experience.